Well, some near-record heat and the chance for rain on Christmas. Up next, Chief Meteorologist Tim Heller tracking it all and what it means for your plans.
Okay, you've spent the last month buying gifts thinking about everyone else, so Monday, do something for you. Buy some fabulous new furniture at Rooms To Go and finance with no interest until 2022. Not 2021. No, it's actually 2022, which is 5 years, not 4, which is so much better. Especially when you're financing with no interest. I mean, it's one interest-free year longer. Turns out 2022 sounds perfect. Just make equal monthly payments starting next month. Only at Rooms To Go.
Merry Christmas.
From all of us
at ABC 13.
Fortunately, one of the officers found him on the street. He was okay, so.
Now at 10, an ABC 13 exclusive. A family traveling across the country loses their father over at Bush Airport, where he was found nearly 24 hours later, plus the emotional reunion just hours before Christmas. And Santa Claus is coming to town, reaching North America just in the last half hour. We are tracking where Santa is heading next and when he'll be arriving right here in Houston with presents for all the good boys and good girls. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm Natasha Barrett. Tom has the night off. We start with the top thing on everyone's mind this Christmas Eve. Are we going to get some sort of cool down for Christmas? Well, no. In fact, you would think it was summer if you looked outside today. We saw everything from shorts and tank tops in Memorial Park, but just how hot is it going to get tomorrow? Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Tim Heller, who is tracking it all for us. Tim.
And Natasha, it looks like this year is going to be pretty reminiscent of last year. Last year we had a record high temperature of 83. I'm forecasting 82 for tomorrow. Tonight, the main problem for anybody venturing out for some late night church services will be the fog. You can see the visibility is actually pretty good in Houston, but not so down in Galveston, where the visibility is down to about a couple of miles. It is warm. It is muggy out there. We've got southeasterly winds pumping in this warm, moist air. Our temperature still at 70 degrees right now, which is higher than our normal high temperature for this time of the year. And we're not going to cool off much tonight. Visibility in Galveston right now is at about 5. It was down to about a quarter of a mile for a while in Pasadena. That's improved there. So we could still see some areas of patchy, dense fog throughout the overnight hours tonight. In addition to that, cloudy skies and maybe a few sprinkles every now and then. But the big old man's driving into town later on tonight, or arriving into town later on tonight, not driving. The reindeer take care of that, of course. Midnight for Christmas Eve, we're at 66 degrees, cloudy, foggy, maybe a little drizzle. Christmas morning, 68 degrees for the kids that get a new bike. The weather should be pretty good. 82 degrees for the high temperature, partly sunny sky. Might be an isolated shower tomorrow, maybe 6 raindrops on the windshield. That would be about it. But the temperature's warm and very muggy. You'll have to turn the AC on if you want to light the fire in the fireplace tomorrow, Natasha.
Oh, yeah, you will. Keep it on all day long. Thanks, Tim. Now to an Eyewitness News exclusive. Traveling for the holidays is stressful enough, but taking a cross-country trip and losing your father in a strange city is what happened to a family. Now, we first broke the news at 6 that an elderly man was found safe nearly 24 hours after vanishing from Bush Airport. Now we have that emotional reunion with this man's son, plus new details on just how far he wandered off from the airport. Eyewitness News reporter Christine Dobbin joins me live now with this story all new at 10. Christine, what a story.
Well, Natasha, imagine spending Christmas Eve frantically searching for your missing father. But this story has a happy ending, with one Houston police officer even calling it a Christmas miracle. Reunions are a common sight at Bush Airport on Christmas Eve. But this one was different.
And I think he was just kind of in shock.
Behind the glass of an HPD storefront, a son's relief. He won't have to spend Christmas without his father.
I almost choked up over there. I couldn't say a word, so I'm glad that he's okay. Singno and his father Key left their San Francisco area home yesterday, headed to Christmas with family in Raleigh. On a layover in Houston, Key, who suffers from early dementia, went missing after going to the restroom. He tends to forget things pretty fast.
He was last seen on surveillance around 11 last night. Singh spent Christmas Eve in search of his father at a huge airport in a strange city, all alone.
Really worried. I did communicate it to my family and my sisters.
Houston police were searching too, and around 5 o'clock tonight, Key was found 10 miles from the airport
A diligent patrol officer had been handing out flyers. Another recognized the description right away when a call came in on an Asian male standing alone outside an apartment complex.
You don't always get to see things go to like the very end, especially not to a good result like this, but when you see it, it makes it worthwhile. It's awesome.
The ending everyone was hoping for.
One of the officers found him on the street. He was okay.
And a Christmas Sing No will never forget.
Glad to be back with your son?
Yeah.
At Bush Intercontinental Airport, Christine Dobbin, 13 Eyewitness News.
No better feeling than being with family for the holidays. And tonight, a group of Houston firefighters is making sure boys who just lost their mother recently can still have a Christmas. Eyewitness News reporter Pooja Lodia joins us live with why these first responders wanted to do so much for this family. Pooja?
Natasha, firefighters here at Station 74 say they had really no choice. Once they saw those little boys, they knew they had to get involved. So tonight, they brought them Christmas a little early.
There you go, just rip it off.
There's a lot of ways you can open a present. You can rip it open. You can carefully remove every piece of tape. Or you can just gaze longingly.
It was amazing. I got a lot of gifts and I'm really excited and happy. Can't wait to get home and play with them,
10-year-old Jevin, 3-year-old Zane, and 1-year-old Tank have more presents today than they could ever ask for. But what they really need, their mother, isn't here. 30-year-old Jennifer Johnson was killed last month when their car rolled over on I-45. All 3 boys were inside.
I had Zane and Tank, just holding them, and carried them to the ambulance, and honestly, I just thought, of my 2 little ones.
Since then, these firefighters have kept in touch with the boys and their grandparents.
They come to visit, they call, they just drop by. The kids like it. They miss their mother, and they need to know that they are loved.
Many of these gifts, like this signed Texans football and the mattresses, were donated by private businesses. But to make sure the 3 kids will continue to be taken care of, the Robert Beebe Foundation stepped in. Firefighter EMT Robert Beebe died in the line of duty in 2013.
He didn't like to admit that he was a crier, but I think he would have cried a little bit. He would have told us how proud he was.
Proud to build a new family, brought together in the worst of circumstances and kept together by the best.
I want to tell them thank you and for all the presents, and I hope they have a good Christmas at home too.
1, 2, 3. Merry Christmas!
And if you would like to help out this family and to get involved, I know you do because Houstonians have such big hearts. I've posted lots of information on our website, so just go to abc13.com. Reporting live in North Houston, Pooja Lodia, 13 Eyewitness News.
Wow, Pooja, that little boy is so sweet. And kudos to our first responders here in Houston, really a one of a kind, taking time out of their holiday to help this family. Thanks for that awesome story.
Absolutely.
Well, all new here at 10, we have another incredible story of selflessness with parents thinking of others after losing their son. Grayson Harper was killed in a crash last week, and Friday he was laid to rest. It was a very emotional day for so many, but Grayson's parents wanted his spirit to live on this holiday season, so they donated all the toys that they bought for their son this Christmas to the police department's Blue Santa program. Grayson's grandfather is a lieutenant with the department, and his fellow officers say there is a reminder to all of us to drive safely this weekend and cherish the time we have with our loved ones. Tonight, a second child hurt in the fireworks explosion in Mexico is starting treatment at Shriners Hospital in Galveston. The charity organizing all of the travel says the 16-year-old arrived early this morning, just hours after he was cleared by doctors to travel. He was in critical condition right after that blast and will likely undergo multiple surgeries, all a part of his recovery in Galveston. Well, that 16-year-old is the second child to come to Galveston for treatment. We were the first to break the news when 13-year-old Juan Carlos arrived on Wednesday. He underwent his first operation, but has a very long way to go before he'll be able to go back home. In addition to these boys that we're talking about, doctors at Shriners Hospital expect 3 more children to be transferred there for treatment. All right, coming up right after the break, an urgent alert for the millions of people heading to church or synagogue tonight. We have new details just in from the FBI on the threat to places of worship. And it is one of the top stories on our website, abc13.com. Tonight we have the latest twist in Paul Wall's drug arrest. And let's take a live look from our official Santa tracker. Thanks to NORAD. Right now, Santa's flying over Canada. He's delivered more than 5 billion presents and should be heading back to the U.S. very soon. We're going to check in with him again in just a few minutes.